We spend a lot of time worrying about how the world is going to end. We picture the oceans boiling over. We imagine artificial intelligence going rogue, or global food chains completely collapsing. But those predictions miss what actually happens. By the year 2125, the global population hits 12 billion people. We survive. Keeping that many people alive requires a radical restructuring of society. We engineer our way out of extinction, but the cost of that survival is extreme. The Earth of the 22nd century doesn't die. It becomes a much harsher, quieter place. We secure our biological future, but in the process, we end up trading away the very things that make us human. The climate warnings from the early 2000s prove entirely accurate. Global temperatures continue to climb, causing massive glacial thaws and an aggressive rise in sea levels. The geography of human civilization is forced to retreat. Coastal hubs with centuries of history, Tokyo, Mumbai, New York City, are surrendered to the encroaching oceans. To house a displaced and exploding population, architecture goes vertical. The result is the megacity, dense structures stretching miles into the atmosphere. The ultra-wealthy secure the uppermost tiers, living above the cloud line, while the poorest populations exist far below in perpetual shadow. Outside these steel borders, the wild planet goes quiet. Dense, ancient woodlands become a rarity. For the average child growing up in a megacity, the only way to experience a living ecosystem is through a digital simulation. We solve the immediate crisis of shelter, but we do it by completely barricading ourselves from the natural world. Even direct sunlight becomes a commodity you have to buy. The AI takeover happens through the quiet, steady displacement of doctors, drivers, and engineers, eventually removing humans from the decision-making process entirely. Physical money disappears entirely. The economy transitions into purely digital frameworks. This diagram shows the wealth shift. Power moves from governments managing currencies to those controlling physical necessities: water, food, energy. Expanding this view, billions are tethered directly to this automated grid for daily rations. Survival is guaranteed by algorithms, leaving individuals with zero practical independence. We build perfectly efficient logistics to keep humanity fed and hydrated. The cost is total dependence on machines we no longer direct. Adaptation eventually goes biological. People integrate hardware directly into their own bodies to navigate the harsher environment, installing neural chips, artificial optics, and direct skill downloads. For those with enough capital, leaving the planet becomes an option. The elite establish private colonies on Mars, or by residency on orbital space stations. Those who stay behind are divided by their ability to augment themselves. A stark fracture forms between the upgraded and those forced to survive in their natural state. The gap between those with neural enhancements and those without becomes a physiological divide. By integrating technology directly into the human genome and physical body, we create a social fracture that transcends class and enters the realm of biology. When survival is guaranteed by an invisible algorithm and every physical need is met, the human instinct for struggle has no outlet. Longevity increases, but without the pressure of survival, a profound sense of emptiness begins to dominate the global psyche. A generation grows up entirely surrounded by metal and synthetic lights. A child looks out over miles of uninterrupted architecture and has to ask if the planet was always like this. There is still a massive effort underway. Scientists in 2125 are desperately searching for ways to restore the dead ecosystems and strike a functioning balance between advanced technology and what is left of nature. But that timeline hasn't been locked in. The world of 2125 is a direct reflection of the trajectory we are currently on. Our survival for the next 100 years appears likely. The more urgent challenge is deciding which elements of our human experience we are willing to fight for right now.